doctor when Markham and Mrs. White agreed with Angelique that her father seemed worse. The Duke had had a restful night, but his fever was higher when he woke up. He coughed so much he could hardly breathe, and was shivering beneath the blankets and covers Angelique put on him to keep him warm. Nothing seemed to help. He had a little tea for breakfast, but that was all. The doctor examined him and emerged from the Duke's bedroom frowning, and said that clearly his Grace was worse. Angelique was terrified he might have caught a chill going into the study the night before, but the doctor explained that it was the infection in his lungs that was making him so ill. He would have bled him, but didn't think he was even strong enough for that. He was going to suggest sending for her brothers, but didn't want to frighten Angelique more than she already was. She was panicked at how poorly her father was doing, and left him with his valet only long enough to go to her room, hide the pouch in a locked drawer in her desk, bathe, change her clothes, and return to her father's bedroom as quickly as she could. He was sound asleep by then, and seemed even hotter to the touch than before. His lips were parched, but he wasn't drinking, and she noticed how thin and white his hands were, lying on the covers. He suddenly looked like a very, very old man. She didn't leave his room all day, and watched him closely as he struggled for breath. He woke in the late afternoon and talked to Angelique for a few minutes. He asked if she had put the pouch in a safe place, and she assured him she had, in a locked drawer, and then he closed his eyes with a smile and drifted off to sleep again. It was almost midnight when he woke, opened his eyes, and smiled at her. He seemed better than he had before, although the fever hadn't changed, but he seemed comfortable as he took her hand in his own, kissed her fingers, and she leaned down to kiss his cheek. "You have to get well, Papa. I need you." He nodded, closed his eyes, and slept again as she watched him long into the night. He never stirred, and with a peaceful expression on his face, as Angelique held his hand, he drifted away silently and stopped breathing. Angelique saw it immediately, kissed his forehead and tried to gently rouse him and wake him. But he was gone, after 74 years, leading the life he had been born to, caring for those who depended on him, and the estate he had been entrusted with. He had been a wonderful father, husband, and lord of the estate he had been given, had left everything in good order for his older son, and had given Angelique an incredible gift at the end. And now he was gone, and Tristan was the Duke of Westerfield, even if he didn't know it yet. Angelique sat with her father all through the night, and in the morning she went to tell Hobson what had happened. He sent one of the grooms for the doctor on horseback, and he came a short while later to confirm that Philip, Duke of Westerfield, had died during the night. He offered his condolences to Angelique and left, as word spread quietly through the house and into the servants' hall. Angelique felt as though she were living a bad dream, and then she went to help Markham bathe and dress her father. The footman carried him into the library downstairs to lie in state until his older son arrived. Another footman was dispatched to London in the carriage to advise Tristan of his father's death. Angelique sat with her father in the library through most of the day. The footman returned from London at nightfall to say that his Grace would arrive in the morning. It pained her to hear Tristan called his Grace, but that was who he was now. He was the Duke of Westerfield and master of Belgrave Castle and the estate. For most of the night, Angelique stayed with her father in the library, keeping him company, until Mrs. White came to encourage her to rest for a little while. She felt dazed as she followed her out of the library to eat some broth that Mrs. Williams had prepared. Angelique couldn't remember the last time she'd eaten and didn't care. The father she loved so much was gone. It didn't matter what happened now. She couldn't imagine life at Belgrave without him, or anywhere else. 1,000 memories flooded her mind. She was an orphan now, and had lost her last surviving parent. She knew that no one would ever take his place. No brother, no husband, no man. Her world had suddenly become an empty